everybody, welcome back. I'm William.
I'm Keena.
And we are the Nerdy Weds. And today we are going to be discussing some great two-player games to play with your favorite other person or a random stranger that just happens to sit down at the table with you.
Well, we're really doing this for Vlogmas and for the holidays, so I don't think too many people are going to just be sitting down with random strangers. It's not like it's a gaming convention. Those have all been canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with, and I'm hesitating because he's excited to start with this game because it gives him another opportunity to push people to go and subscribe and watch our 100th subscriber video.
Because this is one of the prizes.
Yes.
An unopened copy of Bubbles Pop, a 1 to 2 player game where you are basically on a planet. You are a planet.
You are a planet, yeah.
You're trying to gather these creatures that look like bubbles. They're like round creatures from like, supposed to be sky. So apparently these are binary planets sharing an atmosphere. And you're trying to pull the creatures out of the sky to you. And when you get 3 in a row, either horizontally or diagonally, you score them. And when you score them, you take them into your square area, and then you can use whatever special ability they have to either mess with your opponent or make your area better. It's a fun little game. It's got some complexity to it. It plays really well, and we really like it. And we hope that whoever gets our prize pack will enjoy it as well. Anything to add to this one?
No, I think you pretty much captured it all. The thing that I like about it is that it's good for kids too. So any age can play it. And so if you have a couple of kids, you can put this on the table and let them play it. So.
And it's got one of the features I really like in board games that you don't see often, but when they do it, I love it. And that's when they start printing rules in the boxes.
Oh, yeah.
So this has like some summaries of the different powers each of the scoring gems get you. Like the reds, the purples, and all that. It shows you kind of what they do. And just like a reminder you have it on the table while you're playing the game is a quick reference. So it's really good. I like that when they do that.
Okay, so the next one, and being that this is Vlogmas Day 7, we decided we would come up with 7 games that couples can play over the holidays. So the second game that I wanted to talk about is Codenames Duet. And what I like about this one is it takes all of the fun that you get from regular Codenames that can be played with more than 2 people. And it can be played at parties and such. And it puts it in a game that's just for 2 people. And like, we have so many different versions of Codenames, but we've never played it 2-player. We've always played it more than 2-player.
Yeah, teams.
Teams, yeah. We've always played it teams because we have a duet that is specifically for 2 people. And sometimes when a game is condensed down from the larger version into the smaller version, it loses some of the essence. It loses a little bit of the fun. And this one doesn't. And that's what I like about it. What do you like about it?
It's great. And it's evil. It is an evil game because it will challenge you. You get only a limited number of rounds before the game's over. And if you haven't gotten all of your clues by the end of that, you've lost. It's time to start over and try again. It is an evil game. I love it. And it can be combined with the regular duet or the regular code names to give you more words and more everything. So that's really cool. So, yeah.
So what do you got? What else do you have?
My next one I'm going to talk about is Rivals for Catan. Settlers of Catan is a 3 to, I think, 6 player if you have the 5 to 6 player expansions. This is 2-player only. It plays with cards, and you're gaining and upgrading your village to gain more cards, to gain more resources, to gain more stuff, to build more stuff, to upgrade your stuff. It's a lot of stuff, and it's played with cards where you're building a tableau of a city, of a landscape. And this is the two-player, this is the deluxe version of the game. There is a smaller version of the game, but this is the deluxe version of the game. It is a lot of fun. It's very easy to learn, and it's got a lot of really good stuff going on.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff going on, and even though it has a lot of stuff going on, like he said, it is still easy to learn and fun to play. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's different. Obviously, it's different from Catan, the regular one.
Oh, yeah.
And it is still fun, but I don't think anyone who really loves the original game and the way that it plays should go into it expecting the exact same thing from this game, because you're not going to get that.
You still have the dice rolls. You still have all that going on. You're right. It does maintain the essence of Catan in some ways, but it is a lot different. So I like this more than I like Catan.
Too. I do too. Yeah, and that's why I said what I said, because I've always wondered, for people who really love the original, if they get this and they don't go into it knowing that, yes, it has the essence of it. You could tell it's in that same world, but it's a different game, different gameplay. And I actually like this better.
Yeah. So that is Rivals for Catan Deluxe Edition. And anytime you guys want a bigger playthrough explanation for any of the games you've seen us do so far on the channel, or anything you've glimpsed behind us, let us know. We'd be happy to do it.
Especially for Vlogmas, because each week for Vlogmas we are doing a segment like this where we're doing game recommendations, because people are getting together for the holidays. So whether you're doing it virtually or as a larger family or a couple like us, we're wanting to make different recommendations based on that. And we are talking about the games that we like and what we like about it, but we're not necessarily going through the how-to, and definitely not doing a playthrough with 7 games. We'd be here all night.
Yeah.
So
it'd be a good time though.
It'd be a good time though, but it will be a long time. So as we're talking about the different games, like William said, if there's one that you want to know more about how it plays, or for us to do a playthrough, let us know. We will have an episode where we're doing that for Evermore. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up, soon. And moving on, the next game that I want to talk about is Patchwork Express. And I like this game because it is really quick to learn, quick to play, and quick to teach. It's just a matching game. It is similar to games that people have played before. I'm trying to think. What's that one? Oh man, is it Tetris?
Yeah, Tetris.
Okay, I know. I'm sitting here like, there's a game that we've been playing since childhood that is similar to this, and that's why I like it, because it makes it easy to explain to people how the game works.
Yeah.
So at any age can play. So this
player.
is another one that's really good for kids. So if you have 2 kids, again, like Bubble Pop, just put it on the gaming table and let them go at it.
Yeah. Each player gets to draw tiles off of a rondelle of pieces. A rondelle is when you're moving around something in one direction. You can't go backwards. So you're hoping to get to the piece you want before the other player takes it, and build your quilt. And it's really good. It's a fun game.
Okay.
All right, my next game is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this game. I can't express enough how much I love this. This is Onitama. This is a 2-player game that has a similar kind of play style to chess, except every game is different. And the reason why it's different is because of these cards. And the cards make it different. So there are 5 of these cards in play during the game, and each card specifies what moves you can make with your pieces in the game. When you play the card, when you do the move, you have to pass the card to your opponent, who then plays a card from their hand to move one of their pieces and passes that card to you. And the cards rotate around the players like that. And there are a bunch of cards. So, and expansions. I want to get all the expansions for this game.
We have one of them.
The expansions expand the number of moves you can make.
So what do you like about the game?
Again, the game, it's very simple. It's very fast. I think I've just about said everything I need to tell you to play the game.
You did.
It's almost that simple. There are a few things that I would have to explain about how to win, like the fact that if you get your dojo's master to the other player's entrance to their dojo, you win. Mm-hmm. Or if you take out their master with any of your pieces, you win. If one of your pieces occupies the space of an enemy piece, it's taken off the board. Your pieces can't occupy the same space, and it can't leave the board. Those are all the rules. That's it. That is all the rules. It is an outstanding game that can be a real brain burner, because you don't get to learn how to play this game because the moves change every game. So you don't get to learn the game. You don't get to become like a chess master where you figured out every move you can make in chess. I know there are a lot of moves, but Onitama, love it.
You got excited just talking about it.
I do. I get excited about this game.
Watch. You really like that game. So it sounds like you like it because it's simple, easy to explain and learn, like all of these games we've gone over today, but it has great replayability as well. So
and complexity.
And hidden complexity.
Hidden complexity, because it is easy to teach you how to play this game, but you're going to look at it and be like, my pieces can move forward, backwards, diagonals, they can jump spaces, depends on what's on the card. And it is really a beautiful game. I love it.
So my next game does not have as much hidden complexity as the one that you just talked about, but it does have really good replayability, and it is really simple as well. And I just had to pick it. That's what I was getting ready to say, that I just had to pick it because of
Game down. It's all right. Roll on.
I'm going to roll on. I just had to pick it because of nostalgia. Have loved this game since childhood, and the lighting is going to really hate this. There you go. I got it. I'm struggling today. Struggle bus. So this game, like he said, has a lot of longevity, and it is one that everyone should know how to play because it's been around forever. You have your player board, and each have the same number and type of ships that you're able to put on your side of that player board that's hidden from the other person, and you each get a turn guessing where you think the person's ship is. And if you get it right, or if they get it right, you put a peg on the board, and you keep guessing until all of the pegs on each of the ships are gone, and the first person to sink all of the other person's ships win. So it's just a fun game that is an introductory game to the games that have a little bit more hidden complexity, like the one that William's going to talk about next. So it has a little bit of strategy to it. It's mostly a guessing game, but once you've guessed correctly, you still have to rely on strategy of, okay, is that person's ship up? Is it down? Is it right? Is it left? And you just beat the other person in the guessing game. I had to pick this for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah.
And it's good for all ages as well.
There are actually two versions of the game inside this one box.
Yes.
But yeah, this is one of the only bits of Milton Bradley plastic that we've got on the shelf. I mean, other than Scrabble.
Yeah, we don't have his favorite Monopoly, you know.
Right.
So, but we do have Battleship. Maybe one day he'll be able to get his favorite game, Monopoly. You know,
Do not
back there on the
encourage
shelf.
anybody. Do not. That's not. Nope. Mm-mm. Although that Brand's Monopoly did sound interesting. That
Really?
who was it? It was Joe.
Zach?
No, Joe brought it up
Oh, I thought Zach.
when we were
brought
doing
it
the
up.
Nerdy Weds game.
Oh, Joe did bring it up.
Yeah.
Joe from
Is an
Culture
alternative
Nerds.
to the regular Monopoly. I would like to try that out. I'd like to check that out. So yeah,
Okay.
Battleship is one of my favorites from back in the day, from the childhood era. It is just a goofy, fun game that, like she said, anybody should be able to play it.
Yeah.
It's that simple and fun.
So we tried with our 7 to pick a good mix of games, even though it's for couples, but anything, like we like to say for our Nerdy Wed game, you don't have to be a couple, as in a romantic couple, to be a couple of nerds. So if you're having a 2-player game, it could be siblings, it could be kids, it could be, it could actually be couples. So good mix that anyone can sit down and play regardless of the age or skill level.
Yep.
So we're going to move. We saved the best for last, though.
Yes, we did.
So.
In my humble opinion. Some would argue that this is a 4-player game. And they could be right, because it's 2 armies that can be shared amongst 2 players on each side. But at its heart, it plays well as a 2-player game. And that is from Academy Games. Academy Games has a line of historical games. And this is my favorite of those games. And I think it was actually the publisher's favorite because they put a lot of effort. All the other games in the lineup have colored wooden blocks to be the army representations in the army. This one has little tiny miniature Vikings and knights and Huskarls and all that stuff. And this game is about the war between the Vikings, who began invading England and taking land in England, and the English going, wait, these guys aren't leaving. We need to make them leave. So that's what this game is all about. And it's massive. It's a big game. It's a lot of fun. You're moving armies on the field. You're playing cards. Each army, again, each side consists of 2 different armies. But if you have a cluster of troops from both armies together, one player can move them all. You know, it's not like the players are in control of different colored pieces. They're all mixed together. So again, it is a 2-player game, but can be played as a 4-player.
And we have played it as both 2-player and 4-player, and I've seen people play it both ways. I'll be honest with you, William, I prefer it as 2-player because what I've noticed, and not just when I've played it 4-player, but when I've watched other people do it, I've noticed that there's always one person on either side that will take a back seat, and you can kind of see the look on their face where they're wanting to do a certain thing, but they'll kind of give ground to their teammate if that person seems to have like more of a strong belief that this is the move they should make.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the move that the other person wanted to make was the better move.
Yeah.
So I prefer it to play it myself as a 2-player game, and even watching it, I just think it's better as 2-player. And this game can change with a flip of a card or with the
Roll of a
yes, it really can. And it's like you can watch it or play it, and one person is dominating, and you think, this is it. You know, why should I even keep trying? Because I'm so far behind, and that has happened to me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not just going to give this person the game. I'm going to keep moving forward. and you can make a comeback. You really can. And we played one time, and we was so close that we got up. We were standing up like, okay, who's gonna get this? I gotta be careful about what move I make because this game is that close, and I don't know who's going to win it. And to me, that's the most fun.
We were on our feet, standing there when she made her last dice roll and won the game, because she did win the game. And
shockingly enough.
It was a pretty awesome moment. It really was. And, it took me a while to get her to want to play the game, but that made her a lover of the game.
I watched it a lot before I played it, and then this was one that you played for the first time, I believe, at Dice Tower. Yeah, and it was a long game. And you played it as...
I met some German dudes.
Yeah, you did, yeah. And you played it, and we started watching them play. And then you played, and then we watched it again. So I spent that weekend watching it being played 2-player, 4-player. And that's why I said I really do prefer it better as 2. But great game.
And this is one other thing I want to point out. I pointed out earlier the first game I did, the Bubbles Pop, and how they print on the inside of the board. Now, it's a great feature of that game, and there are a lot of games out there that do stuff like that. This one has a great feature in it too. Built into the box. It's one of the only games I've ever gotten that has a built-in organizer in the box. And each of these little trays that I've shown you are separate little trays that when it's time to play the game and I say, who's the Barzarks, I just hand the player this little thing, and it's got all of his pieces, all of his cards, everything, his dice, everything are all together in one little thing. I just hand this to the player, and boom, they got all their stuff. There's no little baggies to sort out. There's no pieces to try to hunt in the box for. It's sealed inside of this container. Why don't games have this?
I don't know.
Why doesn't every board game have this? This is amazing.
It is. Like, here's your stuff.
Yeah,
this is all built in. Didn't have to buy it. Didn't have to 3D print it.
It came as one solid thing, and you just rip it apart along the lines, the perforations, and then it comes with the lids. It took me forever to figure out what the hell they were, because the box doesn't mention what they are. So if you've got this game and you're trying to figure out what the hell do these clear plastic things do, rip your thing apart and they slide right on.
Now, William, I'm dropping stuff, dropping games all over the place, being a regular Urkel as usual. But I also forgot, I misspoke and said it was Vlogmas Day 7. It's actually Vlogmas Day 8.
Oh, yeah.
And we do have another game. It's 7. I meant to grab it, but I'll let you grab it. It's 7. I wanted to forget it, you guys. That's why I said Vlogmas Day 7 instead of Vlogmas Day 8, because I really didn't want to put this game on the list. William loves this game, but me, not so much.
Well, you can talk about it. I just talked about
it. I don't want to talk about it. Not only do I have to put it on the list, I also have to talk about it, and I hate it. So, 7 Wonder Duel, I'm going to talk about why I don't love it, and it'll probably be why he loves it, because the game changes while you're playing it, and you have these different levels, and depending on the card you flip over, it determines what you can shoot for, like what you can try to make your goal. And something that you might be going for when it's your round, all of a sudden now it's not available to you because it's no longer your round. The other person can go for it and take right from underneath you what you want. You could just get thwarted so easily and so many times. Like, you can see right now I'm getting flustered just talking about the game. Imagine how I am when playing the game. So I'm like, we're coming up with games for couples that's supposed to be fun. You want the couples to not break up unless your goal is for them to break up and then make up afterwards.
Sometimes that can be fun.
And that must be his strategy because he loves this game. I think he just likes to see me getting upset.
Let me show you something. You see, you got these three seals here on the front. These are places that have recommended the game. And then they had to print a boatload more on the side. I mean, all these different organizations and stuff that have recommended this game does not mean a game's a great game. This is not for everybody.
It's not.
This game has many, many different avenues of victory, and that can be part of the problem. You got players who have that anxiety of making the decision, and they end up not committing to any avenue of victory.
He's talking about me. I suffer from analysis paralysis, and I don't enjoy games where I have too many choices, because I'm one of those people that will agonize over each choice as if it means life or death. And this game does have so many choices. And then you combine that with the fact that it is constantly changing because of the gameplay. When you have your players board, and that continually changes as you're flipping the different cards, and it makes it hard for you to strategize, because something that's available to you one moment, the very next won't be. So it's a frustrating game, and you have to pay attention to what the other person is doing, because you think you're winning, and there's something that the other person is going for that is not obvious, and then the end of the game you realize oh yeah, I wasn't anywhere near where I thought I was. So I think that will be another one we have to play again, because it's been a long time since we played it, because the last time we played it burned me so bad. Rivals for Catan is just fun. Like, we have to play it again. Some games, you know that you love it, because even when you lose, and even if you lost by getting your butt handed to you, and you walk away like, dang, that game was fun, you know immediately it's a good game.
So, quick. You have a couple in your life that you want to get a board game for. What do you recommend? Out of all of these games, which one would you recommend somebody go out and buy as a gift?
Onitama, because
I was torn between Onitama and Rivals for Catan, but
Onitama, because first off is you can find it anywhere, and second off, it's not going to frustrate them, because they're going to be able to learn it really quickly without someone else even having to teach them the game.
It's cheap.
It's cheap, yeah. All right, so I think that's all I've got. Like I said, just stay tuned, because we are going to do some more recommendations, because it's the holidays, and people are getting together in game, and then people are buying games. So these are good recommendations for you guys. And then we're going to have a good mix of other types of Vlogmas, cooking and arts and crafts, William's favorite, or not, and alcohol and live streams, where we hopefully get you guys to join and play games with us. Fun times, and that is all I've got.
And even after Vlogmas, even after all this Vlogmas stuff is done, we are going to continue putting out great content for you guys.
We're just doing more of it this month.
Yeah. And that might translate to us doing more videos in January than we did in November. So we'll see where this goes.
But not every day.
But not every day. No. No.
Okay, until next time, I'm Keena.
And I'm William.
Stay nerdy.